kill shit. 6 feet.
All right, 6 feet going deep. It's Torius with.
Luke Lintz from High Key.
All right, Luke. Why don't you tell us about what you do?
Yeah, Nick, thanks for having me on the show, man. And yeah, so what I do is run a public relations firm. We've been doing this for about 6 years. It's called High Key Enterprises. We kind of partner up with celebrities, partner celebrities up with our clients, and then we also get people featured in extremely high-level publications and grow people's Instagram following.
Nice. And you started with your brothers, right?
Yeah. So we started kind of in the business world when I was in high school, and I started with my older brother in business, and we started an e-commerce business first off, and we kind of grew the brand of the e-commerce business. Realized that like the product-based business wasn't really for us, and what we were really good at was building a brand and like marketing. And so that's kind of when we transitioned into an agency and delivering like branding and marketing services for other people. And then we got our little brother on board, and so now it's kind of like a family business.
I always heard there was a saying that goes, never go into business with other people. Like how since you run like pretty much a family business, how does that saying, like, how do you feel about that saying?
Dude, it's a saying that can be true in a lot of cases, and I think finding good business partners and finding is like kind of going into a marriage. And so you need to have so many different compatibilities with them. They need to be complementing your expertise. And you need to have an unbelievable amount of trust for people you're partnering with. And so I'm extremely grateful that like my brothers are into business, that my brothers are like extremely hungry like I am for business. And so because the trust factor there with my brothers, like most families, is that like their blood, like completely trust them with like everything in terms of financially and with the entire business. And so that was never like a denominator. But we've been in business partnerships. We've had other people be partnered with us that are outside of the family, and they actually didn't end up working out. And it's extremely difficult, like to go into partnership and find people with all those qualities that you need for a good business partnership to work. So yeah, that it's also been an extreme help though, having other people in the business and being able to delegate tasks to being able to bounce ideas off constantly. I found it extremely valuable, always having like my brothers as business partners.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how do you guys complement each other? Like, is one like the brains, the muscle, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you guys like work together in that dynamic?
Yeah. So like I'm definitely the operations dude. So I'm the one who creates the systems, creates the team morale. I'm definitely like a born leader in terms of being able to navigate meetings and basically like show a vision that people can fit themselves within too. My older brother Jordan is definitely more of a headhunter, like sales type of person. Like he's the one who brought in with our first business. He's the one who did all of the marketing for it. And then with the e-commerce side of things, scaled that to a 7-figure company. And then with very low profit, but it was 7 figures in revenue. And then with the agency, he's the one who brought in the first like 4 to 5 million of revenue before we had a sales team and everything. And so he's always been like heavy on the sales side of things. And then my little brother is a little bit of both. He's done sales. He's also done some operations. He came onto the business longer, so he didn't have like the extreme experience that we've had in business with starting from like 100% the ground up. But he definitely helps out a lot in his own ways.
Okay. What got you into e-commerce? Like what made you decide to start doing that?
Man, what got us into e-commerce is we were constantly, I was in high school at the time. My older brother was in university, and I was just constantly looking for that something that can make us money on the side. Like I was definitely like a hustler. Like I was working 2 jobs all the time pretty much, like while working in like the advanced program of high school. So like work ethic was never a problem for me. And so I always loved to work too. So I was always just like looking for something that I could be making more money with my time pretty much. And so we started up a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel failed. And then we heard somebody talking about drop shipping, and we learned about drop shipping, and we're like, damn, like this is potential back in 2016. And then we started up a company with a product that was essentially drop shipping, a product that we thought would be very valuable to people, which was wireless earbuds.
Whoa.
Ended up being like a hit product, and then it took off.
So you were just like teaching people how to do e-commerce?
So we were doing e-commerce ourselves. So like we were like, we heard drop shipping from somebody else, and then we implemented that and started drop shipping our own products pretty much.
I meant on like when you started making the YouTube channel, was it your YouTube channel about how to do e-commerce?
So the YouTube channel was actually before the drop shipping. The YouTube channel was kind of like the first like business venture we were doing, and we were creating like we were recording ourselves playing video games and like like doing reaction videos type things. It didn't take off at all. We had like 120 subscribers after 8 months, and so we just closed that down.
Were you playing like Fortnite?
Well, we would have been playing Fortnite, but it wasn't that wasn't even a thing back then. We were playing like Madden 2K. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I see a lot of drop shippers like teaching how to drop ship. Do you feel like they teach how to do it on YouTube because they're not actually like doing the numbers that they claim they're making? So it's like easier to just like make money teaching it than it is to like actually do it?
Dude, I always think about that in terms of people who run coaching businesses in any single space, whether it's drop shipping or like we have clients who are like real estate coaches and other coaches. I think that there's 2 types of people in this space of like coaching, whatever industry it is. I think that there's the type of coaches out there that legitimately do it and just have a passion for teaching others. And so like, say they've already made a ton of money drop shipping, or they already made a ton of money in real estate, that they literally just have a passion for helping others. And so they're going to become a coach to like just share the knowledge that they have. But then there's the other people that haven't made money from it and see it as an easier opportunity to coach other people than to just do it themselves. And so like I think that there's definitely those two types of people out there. And I do find it funny where like it's definitely more prone in the drop shipping space because there's an extreme low barrier to entry in like the drop shipping space, and especially coaching people. Like you can find unlimited information about how to drop ship, the softwares that you should be using, how to build a website, all online, just on YouTube completely for free. And so it's interesting, like seeing like drop shipping, like gurus and like coaches out there.
Do you still drop ship?
No, we closed down that business. We closed down that business about four years ago when we completely transitioned over into the agency side of things. We're really firm believers of like having 100% focus and being 100% like dialed in into like your craft and like what you're passionate about and like what you're currently doing, because like you can't really have multiple focuses or else none of them will succeed.
Do you plan on going back into it like after any time?
Probably not. I personally hate the product-based side of things. I like and you're probably like, you're in this space too now with like PR and stuff. And so I personally really enjoy working with high-level clients for many different reasons. One, just like we're able to provide a very luxurious experience because of what they're paying. So we're able to hire like the best talent to be on top of the ball, deliver them the best services. But then also like when I'm talking to the clientele and talking with like the high level clients that we work with, it's it's so amazing because like it's an exchange of value both ways. We're helping them out with their stuff that they're not as educated in because it's our expertise, but then they also help us out with stuff. Like for example, we have a couple of very, very high level real estate investor clients. And so when I get on the phone with them, we're talking about like their brand and stuff and how to level up their brand, but then they're also giving us information about real estate that we use when we invest into real estate, like with them, or invest into real estate on the side with like our profits and stuff. And so that's a main thing that I absolutely love with working with high level clients, where you can never get that with a product based business.
Because I was gonna ask, since you're making money with what you're doing now, wouldn't it be easier to do drop shipping since you have all this capital?
Definitely. Yeah. Having a base of capital would make it so much easier to not necessarily do drop shipping. Like we did a branch of drop shipping. Like we white labeled a product in China. We bulk purchased the inventory. So we put our logo on the products, bulk purchased it, did some OEM and ODM design to the product, shipped it to the US, and then stored it in our warehouse. So like, and then we shipped it from our US warehouse to the customer. True drop shipping is where like you don't actually ever touch the product, and it just goes directly from like the wholesaler or like the producer directly to the customer. So we were kind of like doing like white labeling it, where we didn't actually like develop the product, but we did customizations to it and add our logo to it. And doing that with a lot of capital like stored away would be a million times easier. It's just that it's not something that we would want to go into.
So as a press business, do you consider yourself like as selling a service, or do you consider yourself selling digital products?
Yeah, definitely. Like as a press business, definitely what we're doing is we're selling like basically like digital services. So we're selling like packages that are one-off packages, some like retainer packages. The one thing about that's difficult about a public relations firm is that you don't, like with a product-based business, you have a specific product that people either can say like yes or no to, that they want to purchase that. With the service-based business, it's a longer customer journey where like for us personally, we create custom packages for every single one of our clients based off of what they need, because no two client is the same. Like every single client that we work with is in a different industry, is at a different level within their industry, is going after something else in terms of like more people are wanting more customers, some people are wanting more speaking gigs. And so like every single package has to be like pretty much customized.
So who needs press?
Yeah, the people who need press like the most are people who already have a decent brand, like already have like a somewhat of established brand, whether that's like a physical brand or like a brand that's digital, like with their social media presence, with like having a website, all of that. And then someone who's like already has a verified funnel for their product or service that's working. So what I mean by that is like they have at least one funnel that's driving in consistent revenue on a daily basis into their product or service. So whether that's like a funnel that's working where they were spending a lot of money on Facebook ads that getting a good return on their investment, or they have such a big brand already that they're getting a ton of organic traffic in, or that they're running YouTube ads, TikTok ads, they're running cold calling campaigns where it's very successful, where they're cold calling people and getting them in. They just need to have one of those that's very successful to make press worth it, because like press is going to level up someone's brand to a level where they're going to be able to see an increased ROI off of that direct advertising or off of that funnel that's working. Because every single person, like practically, whether it's for a product or service, is searching you up on Google before making a purchasing decision. And that's on like the base layer. But then like there's so many other layers to it about like how press increases an overall brand. Like, for example, that's so behind the scenes. Like, for example, when we're hiring for a company, and like every single company notices this, but when we're hiring for a company, the first thing that an employee does before saying yes to an initial interview is searching you up on Google and seeing what your business is about, searching you up on social media and seeing what your social media is about before accepting an interview. And like, you won't run into this until you start working with like higher level talent and stuff. But once you start working with like that higher level talent, they want to be working for brands that have like a very good mission statement, have like very good values, and have a very elite brand.
All right, so let's say you have a high level client who's already getting a lot of press, right? This is a two-part question. So you have a high level celebrity, then they're already getting press. How is your company going to, like compete with the press that they're already getting? And also, let's say that you have a lower tier client. How is your company gonna help them with all the other options that they have to get where they need to go?
Yeah. So we do something that like nobody else in the market is really doing, where we're combining like we call ourselves a modern public relations firm because we combine guaranteed media with earned media. And so if I break this down, like guaranteed media is where like you can specifically go to a publication and pay for a publication that you can write up, submit, and get published on that specific article. And so obviously, like, it's a very known thing that a lot of people in the social media space only want guaranteed media, and people who are going into the press space for the first time only really want guaranteed media because you want to know in any single service you're purchasing, you want to know exactly what you're getting for what you're paying. And so we combine that with earned media, where earned media is kind of like traditional media. So like the only time people have had access in the past to traditional media is going with like a massive PR firm, like one of the PR firms that are like billion-dollar firms, publicly traded. And what they do is, if you've ever worked with like a traditional PR firm before, is they'll say, we'll do a certain amount of outreaches, certain amount of pitches for your story, and we're not going to guarantee any pickups, but like we're going to go after, in a 12-month plan, go after the articles that you're looking for. So they're not guaranteeing it, but over the course of a 12-month plan that you're paying like $10,000 a month for, they'll like try and get published on the articles that you're going for, which like doesn't make any financial sense unless you're literally like a massive company like Coca-Cola, where like that money is meaningless to you. And so we're mixing the two, where we have in-house publicists and we have access to guaranteed media. So like for people who are just getting started wanting press in our smaller company, but are still have like a really good revenue flow coming in, we can get them just guaranteed media. And then for larger companies or like celebrities that you're talking about that might already be getting press and articles like out there consistently, we have our publicists working with them where we can guarantee we get better results than their current PR company. But then you'll notice, man, that even high level celebrities still want guaranteed media. And we've done press for like some pretty high level people, in terms of not just celebrities, but also like people within government and stuff, because with guaranteed media, they can control the narrative however they want, which is a massive component. And with earned media, you can't control the narrative. Huge component for very high level people, because very high level people do want to control exactly what gets published and have a review process before it gets publicized.
So what is the difference between hiring your company to do press versus like just paying for sponsored posts on Instagram or TikTok? And do you feel like those social media really can help you grow your brand, even though there's like this big paywall now that if you want people to see your stuff, you have to pay?
Got it. So you're kind of talking about the difference between working with our company to secure like press compared to like just paying themselves to like say boost a post or to pay for ads on social media. Is that kind of like the comparison?
Yeah, because I've noticed that like Facebook, Instagram, they all want you to, they want to see the fall of like the influencer. Like they don't want influencers like saying posting stuff to advertise. They'd rather you just cut out the middleman and just like pay Instagram to sponsor the post.
Yeah, exactly. So like what we're specifically doing is kind of like off of social media, like in terms of the press side, like we're literally getting people publications like on Google and getting people full feature publications on uh, like the biggest publications they can have access to, like celebrity style publications and magazines where we write up full feature articles about them. So it is kind of like a different game than them paying directly like Instagram or Facebook to for sponsored posts or like to boost their own posts. But like if we're talking about social media side of things, like for example, where we sometimes partner up our celebrities that we have access to with our clients, where that's very different than them paying Facebook or Instagram directly to like sponsor or boost a post, because they're getting access to a celebrity endorsement pretty much, where like they're like getting a direct shout out about a celebrity, where it's a whole different level of credibility component than just having like their own video boosted on their own page.
So as a press company, what is the best way to just like, do you feel like the more people that you have that's working with you is what builds your brand, or do you have another like funnel to build your brand that doesn't have just like celebrity shout outs and endorsements? or like
So yeah. So I personally think this is kind of like going off the definition of like what is a brand? Like what is your brand? Like what does the word brand mean? And so like I personally think what like the word brand means, and like what every single person's brand is kind of what is in the public facing eye, where people and what people think of your business without you actually being in the room. And so like it's kind of like what's out there for people to see about your company, where you're not actually talking directly to the person. And so what that includes is that encompasses so much stuff. That includes social media, how you show up on social media, what happens when people look up your social media profiles, how many followers are there, what types of posts are up, what colors do you use on your social media posts, what's your profile picture look like, is there brand continuity across all your social media platforms. It includes like what happens when people search you up on Google. Do articles come up? Does your website come up? Does a Google panel come up? All of that. What happens when, like if you're a localized business, like what happens when somebody goes past your restaurants? What colors do they see? Is there brand continuity between what colors they see in social media, and is there the same continuity between all of that? What happens when it's like all of that without the owner or like anybody in the business directly talking to a person? What do they see like in their presence, either online or physically?
Yeah, I got it. What is like what advice do you have for like someone that wants to grow their social media, like their Instagram specifically, in 2022?
Dude, so Instagram is hard and you definitely know this in terms of like like how hard Instagram's been to grow naturally, and that's just because engagement rates are extremely decreasing. There's viewership going on to other social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and so for somebody who's trying to grow their Instagram, I would actually suggest not looking at it like growing your Instagram. I treat Instagram now with all of our clients, and I think every business owner or entrepreneur should treat Instagram like a landing page and a digital business card. It's going to be the first place for the next like few years that every single person goes to like see like the first click of your business. Like when you're out to meet someone for the first time, you're going to be like, yo, like let's follow each other on Instagram, or check out my Instagram, digital business, digital landing card. I would suggest for any time you're spending to like content creation goes towards the platform that are really favoring like natural growth and a lot of viewership, which is TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And so I'd be spending all my time on those two platforms for the majority of the time creating new content.
Do you feel like in this time where it's like, I've been hearing a lot about how like pretty much there's like so many like celebrities, right? Like anyone with like 40K, 50K, like 100, like there's a lot of people that have like at least 100,000 followers on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
In this world, in this time we live in now where it's like pretty much everyone is a celebrity. Do you feel like a presence on Instagram, like even though you did say it's like a digital business card, do you feel like it's important the amount of followers that you have when it's like, you know, like there's so many more celebrities now than there were in the past?
That's a really good point. And it's definitely important because it's actually kind of crazy that there's like a minimum threshold almost where once you get past that minimum threshold, whether it's in your industry specific or anything, but once you get past that minimum threshold, then people really don't care about your following. What I mean by this is if you're an influencer, for example, and you get past 100,000 followers, there's not much of a difference that people see in their mind from like people who are past 100,000 followers and people who are past 1 million in followers. But there's a really bad difference that if you have under, say, 1,000 followers, or if you have under 10,000 followers, they'll think less of your business. So they won't think more of your business if you have 1 million followers compared to 100,000 followers, but they'll think less of your business if you have like under 10,000 followers. And so that is why I think that, like, for example, for businesses and entrepreneurs that are like, say, just starting up on Instagram or like haven't taken Instagram seriously up until this point and have like no followers, they should like look at an option of growing their following, which would be the options would be either growing a TikTok page and bringing followers over for TikTok, or like doing a celebrity growth campaign. Like basically, like, for example, we have a company called High Key Clout. We partner with celebrities. They say, hey guys, I'm giving away this Tesla. All you have to do is go at High Key Clout and follow everybody that they're following. And so we have a list of giveaway sponsors that get like 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 followers during the giveaway campaign. And that's the whole reason why we do that, is mainly to get like businesses and entrepreneurs past that threshold without having to like buy followers like on a random website. They're like getting into an actual like celebrity sponsorship opportunity.
You know, that's how I actually heard about you guys. Like I saw the Takashi one you guys had, and I was like, you know, like, fine.
Yeah.
No, it works. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And people reach out to us every single time after we run the celebrity giveaways. And so like it 100% works. It's literally gained like a celebrity endorsement.
like I'll see like different celebrities that were huge when I was like a kid, and I'll see their Instagrams now, and it's like some of them will have like 7,000 followers, but they're like this huge celebrity, you know?
Dude, it's crazy, man. It's because they didn't get on the train of like they didn't get on the social media train. But then you'll see other people who are massive celebrities and have like over 10 million followers because they took social media seriously, and like they had a presence and a brand at that time. And it's about capitalizing on when there's like a major switch in the market.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What is your thoughts on the AI rapper? I think it's like HN Mecca or something. FN Mecca.
Man, I swear I've never heard of that. Who?
I think his name is FN Mecca. It's like an AI rapper.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm surprised you guys haven't done business with him yet.
Is he good?
I've never heard his music, but everyone's just super mad at him.
That's hilarious.
I really wanted to ask you about your NFT project. Are you still doing that?
Hell yeah.
Where do you see NFTs are right now? Yeah,
so the NFT market as a whole is obviously like extremely down right now in terms of like where Ethereum's at and where like the entire crypto market is at. I think that we've been dropping down steadily over the course of this entire year, and I think that we're going to have probably one more extreme, like we're recording this on October 6th, 2022. I think that we're going to have one extreme more dip down, and in the crypto market and the entire market as a whole. I think we're going to have a slight housing crash, and like some other things are going to crash down. And I think we're going to have a huge ramp up. It's going to lead into a massive crypto bull market run, and that'll lead into the NFT industry going up more too. With like our specific NFT, like Frat Apes Party, is that we launched that earlier this year through a massive party, and then we had some pending sponsorship spots to lock into in terms of for the next party, and it got delayed a bit, but like that's a long-term project. We have some plans to throw together some like crazy celebrity parties around the US, and it'll catch a lot of publicity and a lot of people's eyes, and we were just waiting to like get back hardcore onto that project until we have like the next party set up.
How often do you spend on social media? Because I feel like the amount of work that you have to put into what you're doing at the level that you're at, you don't really have time to be on social media, but you kind of have to be. So it's like, how often you spend on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and all that?
Dude, that's a good question, man. And yeah, in terms of how much time I spend on it, most of my time that I spend on it is directly like reaching out to people. So it's actually doing business on the platforms. I don't spend too much time like ever really consuming content. The only time I would spend consuming content is if I'm trying to learn about a particular like aspect of TikTok, or if I'm trying to learn about a particular like update that's going on say YouTube, figuring out like how people are interacting, like what people are doing, like if I'm actually trying to get into it. But like for the most part, I don't spend that much at all like consuming people's content. Most of it is like on the creation aspect.
Yeah, because I feel like in order for you to actually make good content, you have to like kind of integrate yourself with it. So you gotta like, spend that time on it.
You really do. And I've told this in other interviews that like the biggest thing that people can do in terms of like, if they don't know what content they should be creating, is simply by creating a blank TikTok account, like brand new TikTok account, going to people that are influencers in your space, or going to like the niches and industries in your space, searching them up, liking the videos. And then all you have to do is go to the homepage, and TikTok will start feeding you the content in your space of other people that are going viral. You look at the viral videos, and then you just repeat those videos, and you literally like recreate those videos. Proven system to go viral. We've gotten countless accounts, like literally millions of views, like by literally doing just that. Super easy. And it's the exact thing that you just said of like literally immersing yourself into the content. I noticed that we only have like 45 seconds here.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what is your favorite business book?
Favorite business quote?
Book.
Oh, for sure, Think and Grow Rich. But getting into business was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Both those books were sick. But like before we get timed out, you said to mention my Instagram. So like if anybody wants to like send me a DM or check me out, Instagram is at Luke Lintz, LukeLintz.
So you heard it here, 6 feet. It's been 6 feet with the one and only Luke Lintz.